Hey everybody, I am Kate with Crate Insider, and I am really excited to be on this video right here. This is our 1,000th video that we are posting, especially over on YouTube. And I thought this would be a great chance to kind of take a look back at where we started, you know, how this all really began, and some of the steps along the way. So if I take you into the Wayback Machine, back in 2015, what really got this going, I had a couple of videos on our YouTube channel for Crate Insider, and I shot them out at Hendren Racing Engines. One of them was how to change valve springs, and it's still one of our most popular videos. Currently, when I looked this morning, it has 111,000 views. So for a niche channel like ours, that's huge, and that's not even counting, you know, any of the views that would be over on Facebook. It's just the metrics are so much easier to be able to see over on YouTube. One of the other videos that we have over there is how to adjust your valve lash, still one of my most popular. But what really happened at that time, my face was not on any of those videos. Not really, a lot of people didn't know that I was the person behind Crate Insider, and I thought, well, I mean, I'm just going to talk to some smart people and put out some tech articles, and it's going to be great. Well, I went to it's called the Internet Summit, and it's a digital marketing conference. And while I was there in 2015, there was a stat, and I couldn't find it exactly written down somewhere, but it was some crazy stat, like by 2020, 80% of the internet is going to be video. And whether a person believed it or not, I wasn't quite sure. Now, a stat I did find is that year over year, Facebook had seen a 616% increase in video views from 2014 to 2015. So video was really brand new. So I came back from that conference and I was like, okay, I mean, in order for Crate Insider to succeed, I really need video. And so I was talking to the guys out there, and they were like, yeah, we're not getting on camera. That's just silly. So it really came down to, if I wanted video, I would be the one that would have to do it. And I was so scared, you guys, so scared, because I was like, people are going to watch this and think, who the hell does she think she is? I mean, she's a girl, and you know, what could she possibly know? And it's not that I do. I just know some smart people. But I just really reframed it. I was afraid that people were going to say, oh my God, she's fat, or she's ugly, or she doesn't know anything, and all of those fears. But what I wanted to do for the business was far more important than that. So I decided that I guess I would just have to reframe it and say, you know what, okay, well, people look at me and they're going to know that nobody hired me as, like, if I was 20 and blonde and 110 pounds, they would just definitely not take me seriously. So, hey, I'm like the slightly overweight middle-aged woman selling race car parts, and maybe that's going to help me, you know, just to reframe the situation to even do it in the first place. So what I did was I had a couple of iPhones, and I bought some studio lights and a backdrop. And at that time, I had moved to North Carolina from Idaho, and all of my stuff was actually in storage, so I had no furniture. And so I just set up a video studio in my apartment, and that was the way it was for a really long time. And I have to give huge credit. The very first video that I shot was with me in it, was with my friend Jason Grubb at Dayloop, and he had that new Dayloop grease, and so I went down to the Charlotte area, and it's so funny because they were doing this demonstration on how to grease bearings, but I was more focused on, like, watching the person, so the camera, it went off camera, and I had to do it, and it was kind of crazy. Well, then after that, I thought, oh my gosh, okay, I have Buck coming from, like, Daytona 1, and there's these new grip bite products there's 4 different products, and I could shoot each of those as a separate video. I can put it together as one compilation video, and oh my God, that was a disaster. I'm thinking, oh yay, I have like 5 videos. Oh my gosh. So that first series of videos, I shot them out at Hendren's shop, and they had this tire rotisserie. It had to be shipped out that day, and it was like 90 degrees, and I'm there trying to do this. Well, I published these videos, and then, oh my gosh, the internet went wild with I was ruining racing by talking about tire prep. I mean, it's not legal in a lot of places. I'm fully aware of that. It's legal in some, and I mean, it is what it is. So those were like the first couple of missteps. But as we've gone along the way, some of my fears have come true, and some of them, by the time they came true, I didn't really care. So that was back in 2015, and then in 2016, I was doing like monthly product videos, or just like, hey, here's the new products from Crate Insider. I mean, I started this company back in 2014 with 30 products, and now we're at like 850. We still aren't trying to be like a million products and have every single thing that you would ever need. We try to be very, very specific in what we carry. But on that video journey, let me tell you, it started with those 2 iPhones, and I was doing all my own video editing. Actually, it was just me. I didn't have any employees or anything, and definitely have been made fun of for a few different things. Oh goodness, I got it going everywhere. All right. One of them was I didn't realize how much I stroked products like while I was talking about them. So I definitely got some, it was pretty funny. There was one I did on double adjustable shocks. I'm the one who edited it, and it's only when you see it without sound that I really realized how ridiculous it really was. Well, then what happened after that is I did more interviews, especially going to PRI. I started going to PRI and interviewing my different manufacturers, talking about new products or finding out what they were doing. And then in 2017, I actually bought my first DSLR camera. And at first, I was buying it for myself, so I wasn't even sure if I was going to use it for Crate Insider, because I never wanted our videos to be too polished, like too fake. I always wanted it to be authentic, where if you guys come into my shop, then I'm exactly the same person in person as that you see on the video. So at first I wasn't sure if I was going to do that, but then I started using the DSLR cameras, and I'm addicted to buying video tech of all different kinds of shapes and sizes. Back then too, when I first started the Facebook page back in 2014, I had created posts like every Tuesday, like here's top 5 products, but here's one that I would post at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then the next one would be at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, clearly, as social media and the internet got closer and closer, or got away from doing just posts and doing more and more video, it was in 2017 that I first started doing the Top 5 Tuesday show on Facebook. And back then I was just still back in my video studio in the apartment there. After that, then I really challenged myself. I knew live video was going to be the next thing. So in 2018 is when I committed to really coming back with Top 5 Tuesday and doing it every single week. And oh my gosh, I was terrified. I mean, this is probably a good time to talk about the fantastic comments that I get on some of our videos here. Let's see here. In the style of reading mean tweets here, let's see what we got. She should be wearing a bikini top or thin white t-shirt 2 sizes too small. She do have some tig bitties. Yeah, there's been a lot of comments over the years, like jugs. These are all from YouTube. Oh yeah, she looks like she drinks the grip bite. Okay. Then there's also the questioning whether I should be doing video at all or having a business, because Nijo713 says, I prefer that woman cooking food for his husband at home. I don't even know what to say. Although Psycho here says, I'd hit it. Oh, and of course, so you're promoting cheating. That's another one. And, oh, here's a good one from Michael Giglio, 1571. Why is there a girl talking loud, how rude, Timothy, spelled wrong, 211, women should remain silent. Okay. And then here's actually the reason I don't, this is more recent. If you're watching me on TikTok, I don't actually look at TikTok because people are meaner over there and it hurts my feelings. But here's one. She should have prepared a script. You look mature. I know it's supposed to be amateur. And amateur does not instill confidence. Like, okay, all right. But you know what? That's really balanced out by all the people we've helped over the years with all of the different videos. I'll get back to those in just a second. I'm going to keep taking you down the journey here. So 2019, kind of more of the same. But then, of course, 2020 hit, and it hit all of us. And, it was interesting that racing was the one sport that was able to continue. However, during that time, most of us couldn't go to restaurants or just go out into the world or shop at a store or do anything like that. So that's when we launched the podcast with Steve Hendren as my co-host. And we did the Racing Insiders podcast for a few years, from 2020 until 2023. Things just kind of run their course, and it is what it is. But that was a chance. It was a podcast of its time. It was fun. We talked a lot about politics back then, and just kind of like BSing. But along the way too, since all of those shows were live, then we were also able to answer a lot of viewer tech questions, because Steve Hendren, of course, is an engine builder, and he was able to answer a lot of those, and we were able to pump out a lot of little snippets of little tech questions and answers. So I know that a lot of folks found those very, very helpful. Now, over the course of that time, 2020, of course, was crazy, and supply chains and all the rest. So during that time is when I got this shop right here. And so my shop here is in a former Jiffy Lube, which is kind of fun, because there are pits in the floor where a person would be able to drive in and be able to get their oil changed. And so in order to combat that, this building was available, and it just kind of worked out. But I put pallet racking over the top of the pits in the floor, and then down in the basement is where we keep a lot of boxes and extra inventory. But then it was like, okay, where am I going to shoot video? So then it's when I designed this platform. Actually, we'll have a little shot here so you can see what this looks like. This is just a wooden platform that we put over the top of the stairs, and extends far enough so that a person walking down the stairs doesn't hit their head, even if they're a tall person. And so that's where I'm standing. If I was looking straight down, why waste any space at all? And I want to be able to utilize as much space behind me and around, in every shelf, so we can be set up with our store and with shipping, because that's the main thing we do here, is of course shipping race car products all over the country. And so then this became my newest video spot right here in 2021 in the new shop. Now, something else that happened during this time too is back in I might have been 2018, I didn't look this up, but I got invited to participate in the Race Logic Chassis School, and I would go there and I would just do a little stint on talking about fire suppression. And the reason I did that was because I had a video about fire suppression, and so I was able to talk about it, and it was a way to bring safety into, of course, all the racers there want to just go faster and learn about chassis. But, while you're there, you might as well learn something. Well, what happened there is a great relationship with Brian Littleton from Race Logic, and it was 2019, so long before any kind of pandemic stuff happened. But there, back in 2019, Brian had a street stock class that was coming out. It sold out in 36 hours, and somebody suggested to him, well, why don't you record it? Why don't you videotape it? And so he asked me, and I was like, okay, I don't know. I do these short videos, and I might do some live stuff, but I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll give it a shot. So the first Race Logic Chassis School that I recorded was actually in January of 2020. And so that was far before the COVID stuff. And then also with the shutdown, that really led me to doing the Cars Racing Show, or bringing that back to life. So video has really been a thread that has helped build this whole business and connect different racers and connect manufacturers with racers along the way. So really exciting along that journey. And so I've been actually recording all the Race Logic classes ever since it was a chance for me to buy even more equipment that I can use for that, and continue to get better and better as those progress. So then moving forward, let's see. It's been a great journey. I've taken breaks along the way, because sometimes it feels a little bit heavy, or I feel like I'm being too redundant, or I'm going over the top, or it's just I just don't feel like I have anything new to say. And if I have nothing new to say, then I just don't say it. So I might take breaks along the way. It can get really hot in this shop too. But let's to circle back onto some of those those great comments that we really appreciate and that really do help. I mean, it really does make a difference. I really do appreciate the folks that leave the positive comments on our videos. For instance, this one here from Max Speed. I just found your channel and it is extremely helpful. First year running a 602 and y'all have a lot of tips. And now, besides this video, which there are no tips in this one, 999 other videos have something else to offer for you. I love this here from Max. Arguably my favorite parts company for circle track stuff. Keep doing what you are doing. It's what got you here. Appreciate that. From TJ Steele, actually a good customer of ours. I really want to thank y'all for the videos and tips. Y'all have definitely helped answer some simple and hard questions for me. I love this from Lewis. Wow, that was really helpful and straight to the point. Thanks a lot. And oh, here's a great one. Holy crap, finally, this is the only video on YouTube that shows the correct way to perform a cylinder leak down test. Thank you for knowing what the hell you're doing. Oh, I have to tell you about that video too. That was one before my face was ever on camera, or right around that same time, and doing a leak down test. And I had the guys at the shop do it, and I'm recording it, but then I do a voiceover. And I guess I was just having an Elizabeth Holmes, like, Theranos moment, if you're familiar with that. But I had this whole, like, we are now going to perform a leak down test. And I am so embarrassed about my voiceover on that one. But, here it is, and it's been really helpful for a lot of people, but I just really laugh because, of course, this is my regular voice now. I don't try to pretend I'm any other kind of crazy voice. And then here's another one that's nice too. Always enjoy these videos. So I definitely appreciate everybody who watches these. I appreciate you guys joining me on the journey. And just a fun fact, if you're ever wondering how old a video is, if you look back on those first ones, I had just cut off all of my hair. So as you can tell how old the video is by how long my hair is. So I guess it's been about this same length for a while, but the shorter my hair is, the older video is, and it's just kind of fun to see that journey. So thank you for being part of it. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you in the 1001 video and every video thereafter.